Alright.
Just like that.
Omega Astria log. Stardate Fochi Navad Day 302. Previously on Chapter 3 of our campaign. The Bronze Phoenix navigated through the treacherous conditions to reach the planet of Vegarok. Upon arrival, Erebus, now operating under the identity of Invictus, received a cautionary message from his Kenku mentor Umbra. He was warned of the risks associated with his return to his home planet, and was advised to maintain a low profile. Meanwhile, Cock and Devon observed unusual atmospheric phenomena, including purple clouds and tornadoes, near a mysterious tower in the lowlands, bearing an Anno Church insignia. These anomalies aroused the turtle's curiosity, potentially prompting further investigation. Preparing to disembark from the ship hold, our party obtained tickets for their journey. To maintain anonymity, Invictus altered his appearance once again to that of a golden leonin. Accompanied by Bruce Hackman and Cock's basically entire crew besides Timbly Bibbs, they enjoyed a picturesque airship ride over the captivating skies of Vegarok. Upon arrival at Olympia, they made their way into the bustling market district. The vibrant atmosphere of commerce enveloped them. Amidst the crowd, Devon encountered a peculiar challenge when he discovered he had no funds to purchase a donut. Strangely, he also heard a demonic voice that seemed to indicate he was not alone within his own mind. Subsequently, the group temporarily split up. I shouldn't say temporarily. The group split up. Cock, Lady Wara, and Nar sought refuge at the Moonlight Serenade Inn, while Devon and Brock found accommodations at the Rusty Anchor. Dr. Vault and Drudgy embarked on a quest of their own to locate the Environmental Research Center, driven by their scientific curiosity and Drudgy's, Dr. Vault curiosity. And Invictus had another encounter with Umbra, this time in person. The Kenku shared possibly crucial information about a mysterious cyber company-funded factory operating in Vegarok's chaotic lowlands. The factory appeared to receive deliveries of quote-unquote nothing, deepening the mystery surrounding Invictus's mission. Returning to the market, Invictus looked to uncover the next step in his quest and unravel the secrets behind his missing family members. With the stage set for a new session of adventure, the crew of the Bronze Phoenix prepares to embark on their respective paths, united in their pursuit of defeating Pirate Lord Tratus. End log. Okay, we begin today, session 5 of this third chapter, with the evening descending, the sun descending in the evening, casting a warm golden glow one last time over the bustling city of Olympia. The party members are scattered throughout, engrossed in their own pursuits, but our focus stays on the kitty cat, Golden Mane concealing his true identity. With grace and precision, he maneuvers through the district, seamlessly blending into the crowd. His sharp eyes sweep the surroundings, ever watchful for any signs of danger. The market teems with voices, enticing aromas, and a colorful array of wares waiting to be traded. Yet beneath the vibrant facade, a sense of unease lingers in the air. Worry lines etch the faces of the populace, burdened by the loss of their fellow citizens in the aftermath of the recent bombings. Whispers of unrest ripple through the crowd, carrying tales of Olympia's troubled state. In the midst of the vibrant market, a voice rises from a street corner, boldly questioning the city's inequalities and the disparity in resource allocation. Think, people! How can we justify the noble quarters in the art districts when we have people starving, people struggling to put roofs over their heads? These words resonate, casting a shadow of concern over the lively marketplace, revealing the deeper issues that plague Olympia. Alright, Catman, what is your intentions? What would you like to get up to tonight?
I guess I would like to try to find the rest of my party.
Okay. So you want to do an investigation roll?
Sure.
Didn't sound very sure there.
Well, I got a 19, so...
I-19, so you begin looking around in the market, and the district is still brimming with activity similar to how it was when you first arrived, but amidst the hustle and bustle, you detect an intensified guard presence. They have stern movements and formations that hint that likely their mission is to restore order from the sort of coercing citizens that are trying to get people to get riled up, whereas the guards would like people to head back to their, wherever their home districts are. And tension crackles in the air. Amidst this chaos, Your keen senses catch the sight of someone, for a second, you think is Drigi. Like, you see a female Loxodon, but then you realize she stood next to a female Harengon, and these two young women are defiantly confronting a contingent of Centurion guards. You sort of notice this. Their voices rise up. The bunny, I suppose, woman, you can hear her say, "You claim to protect us, but where were you when the children vanished? Where were you when our homes were razed? We refuse to be pawns in your power games. We demand answers. We demand justice." And she gestures emphatically. And her words are reverberating throughout the market, so anyone around here would be able to hear her now. And she's drawing the attention of onlookers, including yourself. Bet you don't see your party. You suspect they're not in the market anymore.
I suppose, these missing children, did I hear anything about that at all elsewhere?
Give me a history roll.
13?
Okay, yeah, you vaguely remember hearing something about during the bombings, a bunch of people went missing.
The children.
You didn't specifically hear that children went missing, you just heard that people went missing, but yeah.
Do I know where the bombing happened?
I don't think you do. I don't think anyone told you that.
I guess I would like to go to a local tavern and start doing like research, information gathering, where I just sort of like go in, sit at the bar and just sort of listen to what people are saying.
Okay. Do you have a tavern in mind?
Can you pull up like the district map so I could see?
Well, there's no specifics on there, but yeah, I can pull it up regardless.
Oh, it's like generally an area.
Yeah, I was just wondering if you just make up a name.
Oh, gotcha.
Oh yeah, this is for you, Jacob. You haven't seen this map yet.
Oh, I haven't even opened my computer yet.
Oh, never mind then.
I'll head to the Golden Goose with middle class tavern thing in the market district, where there's a bunch of hustle and bustle and traders and people coming in and out while they shop.
All right, to remain in the crowd and not be seen on your own, basically.
Yeah.
Give me a stealth roll.
I better do well at this. It's what my character's built around. Well, I rolled an 18, which means will only be a 28.
Okay, it's not good enough. All right, so you begin heading away from everything that's going on. By the time you get towards the tavern area, you can see that the female Harengon that you saw before is being dragged away by the guards, and sort of the captain that was speaking to them sort of signals for other guards around to like push people away, get them back to their districts. And you can just hear this woman just scream out, "The elites thrive on our suffering! The sky cities are built on our backs, but our unity, it'll shatter their illusion! Today marks the turning tide!" But the rest of the crowd is just like, there isn't any applause, there isn't any support. As they're pulled away, the onlookers are just like caught in between, like passive, indifferent resignation. You're not really sure. They all avoid eye contact with what's going on. They choose to fade into the background, sort of aware that resistance against the authority will definitely be an uphill battle. All right, but you make your way to the Golden Goose. You can see a thriving establishment inside. You can hear music being played through the door as it opens, and a drunken tabaxi walks out. "Drinks on me!" And he just falls into the mud. And people are like, "Hey!"
Drinks are on him.
Take his money.
Yeah, fuck it.
You want to rob him?
Sleight of hand.
Okay, sure.
Damn. Okay. 31.
Oh my god. Oh no, Comet's fucking going crazy again. You search through the drunken man's pockets, and you begin pulling out a few things, actually. You sort of do this, and you like walk over, you like drag him further into the shadows as you do this. Oh my god. You find a small silver dagger. You find one normal healing potion. He's got a backpack on him. I don't know if you want to take that.
No, I'll leave him his backpack, his dagger, and his healing potion. I just want the money.
All right, you find 5 gold coins.
Thank you.
All right. Do you head inside the Golden Goose?
I do.
All right. Now that you're further into the more closer to Trade Alley, it's more cramped in this area. I mean, the main market's not particularly open, but you're like sort of walking through. As you're walking down Trade Alley, you would know this, but I'll describe it in more detail. There's like shops in between houses, in between hotels, in between taverns, and then there's just like booth. Every single corner you can see there's like a small little tent with someone selling something. There's someone lying on the side of the road. It is very cram-packed in this area, so it's easy to get robbed in a place like this.
Indeed.
But the Golden Goose stands tall amidst the rest of the city. Just a large gold sort of colored wooden building with accents of, there's like torches all around, extended out so they're not like burning the building to the ground. But you step through the entrance and you can smell hearty meals, faint sounds of merry conversation, and people playing a lute somewhere in the corner, telling stories. And there's candle light that casts a gentle glow. Where would you like to start?
I approach the bar and order 5 gold worth of alcohol.
Okay, approach the bar. You walk up. This is probably a place you frequented when you were a child, huh?
Most likely.
Yeah, so you see... Maybe you don't recognize them, but an older-looking tabaxi with orange fur counting something behind the counter. You approach. They sort of clock you.
Take whatever I can get for 5 gold coin.
Anything?
Well, alcohol.
Do you want multiple things or one big thing?
One big thing is fine.
Big thing. All right. That's intriguing. Just puts a bottle down.
I pass over the 5 gold coin.
It could be anything in there. All right.
Yep.
He takes the coins.
And I'm counting on my poison resistance to make this not really affect me.
All right. Well, enjoy the cozy establishment, sir.
And I'll go to sort of slide into a crowded area and just sort of start using my perception to listen to what's going on around me while I like put my drink in, and as I sip it, I start acting like I'm more and more out of it. But because I have poison resistance, it's not really doing anything.
Okay. Roll me a performance roll.
18.
18. All right. So you start to pretend to get drunk, and as that is happening, we will head over to our favorite boys for a time. Devon and Brock, you lean against the wooden walls of the Rusty Anchor, engaged in a lively fuck. Can you guys hear that?
He's back at it again with Krispy Kreme.
Oh my god, what is he doing out there? I'm gonna find like a dead rat. Devon and Brock, you lean against the wooden walls of the Rusty Anchor, engaged in a lively conversation with friendly Tabaxi locals who are far too willing to share their life story with a pair of strangers from Megru. Laughter and music spills from the tavern, creating an energetic aroma, and you enjoy a moment of camaraderie in this unfamiliar city. There are about 5 furred catfolk standing around you, all with their own stripes, colors, and outfits, ranging from the purest of white to the darkest of browns. And you hear one of them speak. "Arr! Let me spin ye a tale about the time I ventured into the wild heart of Egrok." A particularly wiry tabaxi dressed in merchant garb speaks up.
I'm always here for a tale. Or,
Yeah, because they're tabaxi.
Yeah, fuck, I was about to say that. Alright, now, picture this. A thick canopy overhead. A melodic chirping of exotic birds filling the air. And a scent of rare blooms like a tang of plundered berries perfuming the surroundings. I charted me course through the perilous terrain, my claws clinging to the vines as I sought the legendary Temple of Whispers. Surely you'll be familiar with it.
Temple of Whisper? No.
I love the Temple of Whiskers.
Sorry. Oh, fuck? I can't stop laughing. All right, so you reply to no. I mean, with no. Aye. The listener's legends tell a mystical beast dwelling within, known as the Diaba, capable of bestowing great power upon any scallywag brave enough to attempt its defeat. But I had to keep my wits about me, for the temple be guarded by ancient stone sentinels, whose riddles be needing solving to gain entry.
You gotta say something to get entry? What do you gotta say?
Aye, you must solve their riddles.
I hate riddles. Can you just give me, like, the notes? So that if I ever want to go there, I can just know what to say.
Yeah, and then another tabaxi sporting a dark brown pelt with white patches on its face says, Mind ye, leave out the part where your own journey came to a screeching halt, Tarks. Aye, walk the plank, you drunken bilge-rat. Life is about lessons learned. And it leads to some, I have a finer tale to share, for I once crossed paths with a fearsome crew of ethereal pirates sailing the celestial seas of Megarastria.
Man, your stories, man. It's you know how to spin one. I'll say that much.
What's Brock doing at this point, Jacob?
Push-ups.
So you're stood outside a bar, talking to these people, and you just start doing push-ups?
Upside down push-ups.
Is that like
push-ups.
when you do the backwards hug where you touch butts? But with the floor?
Exactly.
Alright. Alright, so one of the other tabaxi is like, No, you've no such thing as ethereal pirates. Aye, they be a terrorizing lot, a terrorizing lot. There we go. I lost me accent there for a moment. Their vessel rides the astral waves of black sails, fluttering, even when the stars calm as a dead sea. I was not but a lowly stowaway, hidden amongst the crates, undoubtedly pilfered booty. The necrotic captain, Bone Tooth, with an eye patch as dark as a moonless night and a silver hook. You won't believe this, but I laid eyes upon him, I did.
Did you see Jack Sparrow out there, too?
One of the other cats laughs as you say that. Aye, this is bilge and bluster, nothing more. I truly did, I did. I glimpsed upon the true natures of that wrecked soul.
So how'd you escape? How are you here? After having such a grand tale.
Well, you see, I possess a silver tongue. After the failures at before-mentioned temple, I had learned a gift for solving puzzles. I challenged Captain Bonetooth to a game of wits. 3 chances to confuse him with riddles, and 3 chances for him to outsmart me the same. And when I emerged victorious, I was as free as a seabird. However, if he had claimed the upper hand, I'd be in debt to him for eternity. 'Twas a gamble that could have cost me my very soul.
So, is your tongue actually silver? I want to see it. Or is that just a figure of speech?
He sticks his tongue out, and it's just a normal tongue.
No, so why should we believe you? I only believe in things literally. I don't believe in things figuratively.
Aye, well, maybe you will believe this, friend. Captain Bonetooth was no spectre. He was a mortal, with a heart of gold, yet cursed by a demon's wrath. Arr.
I just gotta keep going R. So distracting.
Arr, you scurvy.
I'm trying to do
my
backwards push-ups here. R.
Well, have ye any stories yourself, travelers?
Well, mine's mostly ripping people's spines out.
Oh.
Yes, my friend here has many a combat experience.
I'm getting the sense that Devon and Brock want to get away from these men.
I'm just kind of in my head the whole time thinking like, wow, this guy's so full of shit.
You can just like awkwardly back away and try to head inside the tavern if you want to.
I don't have any money, so we might want to swooze up to this guy so that he can give us free.
Well, last time that we played, you found out that Brock had some money, so you can at very least afford a room.
Well, we need the room. What say ye, scurvy dog? Should we talk to this guy, pretend like we're listening to this guy a little bit more, and then him to give us alcohol?
I agree with that.
Hell yeah.
Alcohol is
Hell.
number 2 on the best thing in the world. Number 1 is ripping spines out.
Is number 3 hugs?
Oh, damn, I forgot about hugs. Fuck. I'm gonna have to redo my list.
How did Brock forget about hugs?
Hugs 1.
Well,
Spines 2. Drink 3. Yeah. That makes more sense, right?
yar har har.
Yar har she blows. All right, you guys want to do?
This should blow me.
You want to do persuasion rolls to try to rizz up these tabaxis?
Should we get persuasion since he forced his way into us talking to him?
Should get what?
Get advantage because he came up and started talking to us.
Yeah, you can have advantage because they seem quite drunk, all these tabaxis.
Yar har har.
Yar. 1. Wow. I rolled 2 10s.
Nice.
I rolled a 21.
Yeah, you do the talking.
All right, what do you say?
Yes, sir. Well, it seems us travelers have many a tale to share. Silver Tongue. I didn't quite get your name. What was your name?
I be Tarks, and this be Perry, and that be Dishi, and that be... I forgot his name.
Well, Tarks, Perry, Dishi, and I look over to the guy that he didn't name, or person. And what say ye? What be your name?
You can see him leaning up against the wall, and you kind of notice that he's just sort of passed out, standing up. I don't believe he was with us when we got here.
Oh, okay. Well, he's not our problem. Well,
Perry pushes him over and he
continue
falls over the railing.
I didn't want him to get hurt. I just said, like, we could just leave him there. And they just fucking kill him.
Oops.
Oops-a-daisies. Well, we would love to continue this story inside. How about a few more beers, friend?
Aye, the drinks are us, lads.
Excellent. Let's mosey in.
Alright, so you all start pouring in through the entrance. They've already been here a while, but you can see the bartender just roll her eyes as she sees these people walk back in. But you walk back in the Rusty Anchor. The scent of aged wood is apparent, and familiar aroma of nice-smelling food, and the comforting hum of conversation. The Rusty Anchor stands. So the outside of the building is literally like a wooden building shaped in an anchor, with a nice patio out front for where you guys were standing. The walls of the inn have faded paintings depicting airships, sea ships sailing through turbulent skies, weathered seas, sailors engaging in daring adventures. The floor is covered in creaking refined boards, and it adds to sort of the charm of the place, as every time somebody moves, there's like this echoing creak sound, like you're like on an actual boat. But the bar is situated at the end of the room, showcasing a collection of dusty bottles which contain probably a hint at forgotten stories. The innkeeper's counter is adorned with shells and bits of netting, and the person behind it stands in front of like a weathered actual anchor, which is rusted with age, and it's predominantly displayed. And the person you see behind the bar is a jovial centaur, not something you'd think to typically see, although they are technically native to the planet. And she tends to other wary travelers.
Ahoy there!
Hello, friends. I see you've made acquaintance with the pirate tabaxi crew. What can I do for you?
Well, Parks, what ye be having?
Aye!
Drink!
20 more drinks for me and my companions. 20.
Yeah!
20 drinks.
Let's go.
Tarks, do you have that kind of money? Aye! It's in my room next to my booty. Okay, I'll get that going, but you have to pay me this time. Aye, I'm good for it, Ebia, trust me. And then the drunken tabaxis start walking over to a table. slowly sitting down, helping each other as they do it. Is there anything else I can get you, fellows? Do you need a room?
Yes.
The room.
A room. We should probably get that sorted before we get a little more shit-faced.
Alright, well, we have comfortable spaces available. It'll cost you 5 gold pieces for the night. If you're good for it, I got the key right here. And for transparency's sake, I already took the money off of Brock's sheet from last time. But we'll just roleplay this out. You guys get a key for it.
Well, Brock, I kind of pull him aside for a second after we get the key, and I say, we might want to be getting out a little early on this bar tab, so that if these pirate crew aren't able to pay, we aren't left with footing the bill, if you get what I mean.
I understand. Arr.
After we're perfect, let's get shit-faced.
Alright.
Yes.
The centaur examines your coins, ensuring that they're authentic, and then just like, great! Everything seems to be in order. Can I get you fellows anything to drink on your own, or will you be drinking with those lot over there?
We'll be joining our mateys to drink the night away.
Alright, sounds about good. Well, when you're ready to head up for your first night, the room is located on the 2nd floor, just up the stairs. Look for the number 5 and enjoy your rest.
We will. Thank you.
Of course. Arr. Alright, and you guys head over to the table and start. Eventually she brings over, or has the sort of the tavern maiden bring over a bunch of drinks, and you start getting shit-faced with your new friends. Or the friends you intend to rob.
We're not robbing, we're just hanging out by association.
Yeah,
There's nothing wrong with what we're doing.
Yeah, true. Alright, and
Do we need to do a constitution save?
Yeah, I mean, if you want to try to stay relatively sober, I would say, yeah, you can make some constitution saves.
Constitution saves.
I mean, you're definitely not going to stay sober, but you know what I mean.
Steven the
I got
mateys!
I got a 24.
Dang.
I got 11.
11. Okay, so the alcohol is definitely affecting Devon more. Brock, you're able to sort of stay level-headed. You feel the effects, but you're able to, like, you're not going to get, like, fooled into doing something, and you remember the plan, that is to get out before they have to pay. You just want to say I.
I want to say
Alcohol required.
Alright, well then we will pause there for a moment and head over to the final member of our party, who's basically got his own party at this point.
Yar!
Lady Wara and Nar, the ever-watchful bodyguard. The turtle and the elf mystic stand outside the entrance of their hotel room, their expressions a mix of concentration and discomfort. Cock, you wrestle with the pain that plagues your tormented mind, driven by an unwavering determination to uncover the mysteries of this power. As you walk inside the small room that Lady Wara opens, that you have rented in the Moonlight Serenade, the chamber has 2 medium-sized beds along the back wall, a well-built table in the middle for, you assume, meals, and some shelves that could be used to, you know, hold clothing if necessary, and the soft moonlight that cascades through the blinds of slightly opened windows. You can hear Lady Wara. Cocculus, I don't know how bad your head pain is, but I think it'd be best if we rid ourselves of it before sleep, yes?
It hurts so bad.
Okay, so Lady Wara immediately points over to the table in the middle of the room. She's like, Nar, do you mind? And the black-suited bodyguard gets to work promptly, pushing the table onto its side and then rolling it over to the edge of the room before walking back over towards the door and taking up a watchman position. Thank you. Now, Cocculus, as you know, we were never able to... Quite frankly, we were only able to scratch the surface during your vision training before the galaxy was interrupted by the artifact the anomaly blessed us with. Suppose now that I am no longer highest priestess and I have no other pressing responsibilities, I can train you myself. What do you say?
That would sound wonderful.
I say as I'm slamming my head against the wall.
That would sound wonderful, but I can't hear anything because my head hurts so much. Excellent.
Speak up.
Speak up, bitch. Alright, she starts walking to the center of the room in the space that Nar has cleared and kneels down on the floor, motioning you to join her.
I also kneel.
Alright, so sort of across from each other. And Lady Wara's voice takes a tone that you do not recognize, from her subtle, noble voice to one of teaching, as she delves into your first lesson as her student. Let us go over the basics again, just in case you have forgotten anything, young one. She winks at you. And then she begins telling you the science almost behind your religion, like she was reading directly from the textbooks that you had as a boy. These visions that we are blessed with can sometimes seem like mere figments of our imagination. We are so often told this by the outside world, those who have not yet seen the truth and wish to belittle us because they do not understand. As you know, this energy the anomaly gives off, what would be the common word? Glimpses, yes. They're like glimpses into the fabric of the universe itself. We see things that have happened, will happen, or are happening. That knowledge we can possess, the things we can predict. To be able to see a scenario in front of us that is happening somewhere across the galaxy. These are incredible powers. But the toll it can have on one's physical, on one's mind, is great, as I'm sure you've experienced such things in your own journeys. You say, tears streaming down your eyes. Yes, I have had my fair share of stories as well. As you know, there are those within the church who do not see the visions as a gift from our Lord, but some sort of curse for not finding the truth of its creation. And to be honest, I understand their perspective. There are times where I too wish I could give them up, or at very least have better control, but it is simply not meant to be. We can focus our abilities, make them stronger, but the reality is we do not get to choose when the anomaly speaks to us. We can feel its beckon, and when it happens, we must listen regardless. I say all this for a reason. The visions we experience, Cocculus, are a connection to the cosmic energies that emanate from our Lord. The black hole uses our minds as like a conduit. She says this. She pauses for a moment, looking into your eyes. One, to make sure that you're still listening, and two, to show you the sense of awe she has herself as she describes this to you in a hushed yet resonant tone. The powers of the black hole are wondrous, but are still mostly a mystery to us. In the heart of the cosmic abyss lies a singularity soul, a point of infinite destiny, not just gravitational pull. It is a beacon. I believe it is from another universe. There is destruction, devouring matter, energy, even time itself. And then there is bending time, bending space to your whim, to reveal secrets to 1,000 lucky few. And thus, we are believers. With each vision, you become this conduit for the anomaly. It tells us the truths of the galaxy, some obvious, others completely hidden, echoes of the past we have not lived, screams of a future we cannot let come to pass. In a way, are you okay with me going off book a little bit, Cocculus?
Does that all the time.
My last few experiences were a bit off the book. I'd say I'm used to it at this point.
Yes, I believe, personally, these visions are from someone beyond the barrier of the black hole, testing us, testing our character in order to know if we are worthy. This is why I preach to all the acolytes to stay true to our purpose. As she finishes speaking, Lady War presents you with a small crystal ball held in her right hand, a tool that you have seen some of the other higher-up priests use while you were on the fleet, but you've never really learned what they do.
Ooh.
Do you know what this is?
A ball.
I'm sure you know all about those.
Oh, yeah.
More specifically, this is an orb of Hydrosian glass. It is the purest form of the Hydros we can get without burning to death in its flames. Take it.
Whoa.
Use it as your focus as you journey through the visions the anomaly blesses you with. She hands it to you.
I put it up to my face.
You look through it. It's like foggy glass, so it's hard to see through. Kind of fragmented. You're seeing lots of Lady Warras. Now, Cocculus, shall we remove these headaches?
Please.
All right. She definitely laughs at your desperation. Close your eyes. She instructs you in a soothing tone. Take a deep breath. Clear your mind. Allow your thoughts to settle like ripples in a fading, still pond. Picture the information you seek, whatever it is. Perhaps a place you were when you were a child that you remember. Perhaps a person. Perhaps this alien child you found in the facility on Zolkor Prime. Picture whatever you want. What would you like to picture, Andrew? What would Cock think of? What does he want to know? What is his deepest desire at this moment?
Ooh.
Pussy.
Pussy.
Picture pussy? Please don't. Don't make me describe this.
Oh my god.
The campaign's over, fuck.
Fuck you. Really, he wants to know where Charos is and whether or not he's dead.
Yeah, okay, that's fair. Alright. Give me a religion check with disadvantage.
Oh, great. Oh, even better. 8.
8. Alright, so you begin to have your mind reach out. You try to grasp onto the essence of the anomaly that you can feel floating around you like the Force. You concentrate on visualizing the Dragonborn, summoning images with as much detail as you can muster. Lady Warra, as your eyes are closed, reaches out and grabs your hand. Remain grounded in the present moment, Cock. Stay true to your purpose. Focus on witnessing the events unfolding in real time. And as your focus intensifies, there's struggles, but you get colors, shapes. They materialize within your mind's eye. You catch fleeting glimpses of oppressively dark walls, a foreboding hallway with soldiers marching, drawing closer, though the visions remain too fragmented to get anything specific. And then you hear Lady Warra's voice again. Anticipation, as she says, "What do you see, Cocculus?"
Prison of sorts.
Yes, good. More detail. Tell me everything you see. Alright, roll me another religion check with disadvantage, but this time you can add +4 for Lady Warra's inspiration.
Oh,
Thank you.
mommy. Ooh. 23.
Ah, far better. Alright, your mind dives deeper into the vision. Details of the mysterious scene before you become more clear. The ebony crystal walls around you glisten with a moist-like sheen, reflecting the ambient red lights above you in a mesmerizing patterns. It's like you're high off your balls right now. The walls themselves seem to pulse and breathe as if they possess a life force of their own. The architecture that you see is unlike anything you've seen before. The design is solid, menacing crystal, but with an organic aura, as if it were a fusion of both naturally forming resources and living flesh. The dark corridor stretches out before you, the walls writhing with constant movement. But you feel yourself there. So what would you like to do, Cock? I assume you're going to continue to describe everything you see to Lady Warra, but like, what would you do?
I'm gonna walk down the halls. Am I trapped in a room or no?
It feels like you're in a hallway, but you can't see either end of it.
Okay, I'll just walk down the hall.
Alright, you start walking, and you can hear Lady Warra's voice in your head, like it's echoing, like it does whenever you're in a vision. Remain focused, young one. Feel it truly. Do not try to insert yourself into the vision. Instead, bring the vision to you. And you continue to explore. As you move through the corridor, you catch more glimpses of other interior rooms, passing by various chambers and compartments. Each space seems purposefully designed with strange alien technology intermingling with elements of organic constructions. Control panels line walls next to doorways that are not opened. They have pulsating glyphs and symbols in replacement of where buttons would typically be, but their purpose and function are shrouded in mystery. Do you continue forward?
Yes.
Do you continue describing everything you see?
Yes.
Alright, well, Lady Wara says nothing. In the midst of your walking down this hallway, suddenly the hallway in front of you extends out so where you can see more. And then you start hearing things. The sounds of marching. A large group of people approach. Unknown in what their allegiance is, but it triggers like a moment of panic in you. What do you do?
Try to hide.
Alright, stealth check. I assume you're just gonna like duck around the corner.
Yep. What the fuck is it? There it is. 14.
14, alright. You throw your body around a corner where you're sort of like pressed up against a doorway that isn't opened. And this chaotic as boots start walking past you. And you immediately recognize the guards as the invaders from the Dothan Research Facility. And they're marching in a contingent down the hallway past you. And that is the moment you catch a hint of something. You're like, yes, there it is. It's right in front of you. His presence. Cheros, your friend, your missing ally, somewhere nearby. Give me a Arcana roll as you're searching for it.
18.
18, dang. Alright. You can see it more clearly now. The sign above you. You're squinting your eyes to try to focus on this vision. And it reads, Anti-Magic Ward. You just know Cheros is through this door, and right as you're about to try to open it, before you can pinpoint his exact location, you feel the vision too strong. It begins to fade. You're losing your control over it. You can make another religion check with disadvantage with the +4. You're gonna have to get really high on this.
Hey, yo.
You're gonna have to get real high, my boy.
Can we get much higher? So high.
11. Alright. Your consciousness gradually returns from the depths of the vision, and you experience a harsh reintegration, a pain in the back of your skull as your eyes shoot open, and you feel the need to scream immediately.
Ah!
Yeah, and then you start hearing on the walls, hey, keep it down in there! And then you transition back, and it's accompanied by a sense of disorientation, as if your mind is recalibrating into the boundaries of actual life. Stars blur together and you're in the sight line, slowly resolving into the familiar surroundings of your room in the Moonlight Serenade. And your heart beats with an accelerated rhythm. Sweat beads form on your forehead, a residual echo of the tension that you felt in the vision. But as time passes, so does the pain.
Hey, it's gone.
You can see now as you sort of open your eyes and look back over, you shift your gaze back to Lady Wara. She as well is sort of like lying on the ground next to you. Her expression, once serene and composed, now holds a look of pride, but also slight concern looking at you. Good. Good, young one. You did exceptionally. It looks really sus. Now, let's get some rest and we can continue your lessons once you've recovered, yes? You're both lying on the ground, still clothed, but sweating, lying next to each other, panting, screaming.
Oh, great heavens.
Oh, good God. Good anomaly. She slowly gets up. Nar rushes over, helps her to the bed. Very well done, Cocculus. She just falls asleep. She's so exhausted.
I fell asleep on the floor.
Yeah, the last thing you see is Nar walking over to try to help you get up, and then you're asleep.
I smack his hand away and immediately pass out.
Alright. Cock, you fall asleep. And then we'll head back over to Invictus, who is listening in on conversations at the Golden Goose. What are you listening for specifically? Is there anything in particular, or are you just seeing what kind of rumors you can get up to?
Maybe stuff about where the bomb happened, information about the factory, if anyone's heard anything. Just ill goings, ill tidings.
Ill goings, ill tidings. Okay. So you're. Well, I guess my question would be more like, is your focus on the weird stuff going on in the lowlands or the weird stuff going on in the city?
Lowlands, I guess.
Okay. Yeah, because I mean, you hear to start, you often hear people almost like mention you a little bit. Like you'll hear someone be like, "Do you see that strange man in the corner? Something seems off." And then, you know, someone would be like, "Oh, it's nothing. He's just a stranger." Blah blah blah.
Just drinking. Do I have to make a con save?
No, you'll be all right.
What did I even purchase? What am I drinking?
You don't know. Do you want to sip it and try to see what it tastes like?
Sure.
Does it taste like tentacle?
You take a sip.
Does it taste like banana cream pie?
You put it down. You look at the bottle. You're drinking water.
I bought 5 gold worth of water. Nice.
They shammed. Scammers.
You said, "Give me whatever. Here's 5 gold." He's like, "Okay."
I did say alcoholic.
True.
Alcoholic water.
Exactly. Vodka.
All right, but let's get serious. More specifically, okay. You hear a group of, not a group, probably 2 or 3 Aarakocra, different sort of darker colors. They almost look sort of like Kenku, but not quite crow-like. And you hear one of them say, "Yeah, I saw 2 individuals exchanging that small package in the alley, but the address was one of the lowlands. And I don't know if it's an illicit trade, but nothing good happens there." And then you hear another conversation later in the night. A Loxodon talking to someone at the bar. The bartender has sort of walked out, helping someone order some food. You hear someone say, "Keep an eye on the bartender, Mal. I've heard rumors he's involved in some sort of contraband smuggling. Something happened in Terrace, which you would know as a lowland settlement." Those are the main things you hear. I mean, I could say more, but those are the main things about the lowlands you hear.
I guess I'll finish my drink and sort of head out.
Alright. So you walk outside. It's definitely dark now. The market is pretty much... I mean, there's still people cleaning up and getting their stuff, but it's pretty much everyone's going to sleep.
So I hear Andrew's scream just echo through the...
Give me a perception check. Maybe you would have good enough ears to hear that.
I'm finally able to use perception, and I roll a fucking 2, which makes it a 9.
9. Yeah, you don't hear it. You just hear people heading to inns and stuff. People carrying lanterns because it's so dark.
I guess I would like to see if there's like a back entrance to the Golden Goose to see if I can learn more about this contraband smuggling.
Ah, okay. Yeah. Do another stealth check, and then... Hold on, let me check something.
Y'all got any crack for sale?
Just a cat sticks his head through, like the dog fucking...
Sample the finest
the dog flap on the door.
of the planet.
Y'all got any
Well,
crack in here?
11, so 21.
21. Alright, so you start walking around the corner of the Golden Goose. You do it quickly as to not be spotted. And then give me another perception roll.
Oh, that's much better. 21. 14 plus 7.
So you sort of stick your head... Well, what... You still have the same clothes on that, like, the Erebus versions you had, right? What does your outfit look like?
I guess it's sort of a dark... Give me one moment. Let me see if there's anything specific on what this... Okay, this hideous armor is formed from a black chitin, which is like the skeletal bug-like thing, with which veins pulse with red sinews, and red sinews glisten. So it's pretty black and dark, and
you have like a cloak over it, right?
Yeah.
To try to keep it contained.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm literally wearing something that is consuming my body.
Yeah, I just wanted like a visual of like you lean your head around and you're wearing the classic, spy cloak. and this golden tabaxi. The first thing you notice is there are two figures sort of stood out in the back. Again, there's no like backyards in this area of the town. Everything is so pushed up against each other and cramped. It's more like you go from one alleyway to another alleyway. So you see these two figures wearing like, just jackets and whatever. You think that they're also tabaxi, but they're far darker furred than the man inside. And they're like smoking cigarettes, mumbling something to each other. But they're stood in front of like a cellar door that leads, you assume, down below into the establishment. And they've got like hats on and stuff. They're just like talking to each other.
Can I hear what they say?
Sure. You want to do another perception roll?
13.
13. All right. So you poke your ear around, trying to listen in on these two tabaxi as they speak to each other. All right. You hear one of them say, "Keep your eyes peeled, mate. We've had reports of suspicious activity." Aye. I heard there's some shady dealings going on inside. We might want to be on high alert. No one's getting in with that without proper authorization. And you see one of them point to them. We can't afford any slip-ups this time. And you hear one of them, the other one say, "You think they're really smuggling diamond ice down there? I've heard whispers about it." Whispers?
Diamond ice?
You're the whispers, man. Keep your mouth shut. These types of dens attract all sorts of trouble. We should let the captain know, just in case. No. Do not involve the boss. Under any circumstances. Just keep this quiet. Wait for reinforcements. We'll be alright. Good idea. We can handle this alone if things get out of hand. Agreed. We need to maintain order. Ensure the safety of... I can keep going if you want, but you basically got the information you needed, right?
Diamond ice, right?
Yeah, diamond ice. And you've definitely heard of this before. This is like the main drug in the Omegastri. It's the hardest stuff to get, but it's the best stuff.
Are they looking at the door?
Yeah, I mean, they're stood directly in front of it. There's nowhere else to stand.
But are they like...
It's so cramped.
But I mean, are they like bodyguarding, looking away from the door, looking out into the alleyway? Are they like...
They're looking everywhere. They're looking around as they talk.
Are they looking up as they talk?
No, they don't seem to be.
Alright, then I'm gonna crawl up the wall and position myself above the door.
Alright, so you... onto the roof. You lean your head over to look at these two guards.
And then I'm gonna fucking throw one of my two crowbars just like down the alleyway to make a bunch of noise to get their attention like in a video game.
Okay, do another
Sleight of hand?
performance roll.
Performance?
See how
Nat 20.
distracting this is. Nice. Alright, so you just chuck one of your crowbars. Make sure you remove it from your inventory. It goes gliding down, banging off walls onto the floor. And you hear one of the guards go, "Whoa, what the fuck? Did you hear that? What was that?" "I don't know. Go take a look." "Okay, I'll be right back." And one of them starts waddling off down the alley that you threw it.
The other one is like watching him though, right?
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely intrigued at what it was.
So they're not really paying attention to the door?
Well, I mean, if something dropped down, it would be pretty obvious. But currently, yes, they're not paying attention to the door. You could drop down on top of him, knock him out, and then hide him in a bush or something.
Would I have to do full damage to him, or would you let us roleplay that I'm like knocking him out?
Oh, that's a good question. Well, you don't know how much health this guy has, so...
Yeah, and I do -1 damage with my fists.
Ah, so it's probably not gonna knock him out if you land on him. Yeah, you probably don't want to do that.
Like how far in front of the door is he?
Like a foot. These alleyways are so thin. There's another building directly.
Is there like a
around.
window next to the door?
Like coming from the Golden Goose?
Yeah.
No, not really. There's a window on the other side, but like of the other building.
Alright, I'm now gonna throw my hammer in the other direction and distract this guard.
All right, remove your hammer and roll another performance roll.
Not quite as good. 17 plus my 5.
17 plus so 20.
2.
22. All right, so The other tabaxi looks. Marcus! Marcus, there's another sound. Come back here. He doesn't move.
He doesn't move? Okay. And the other guy doesn't come back?
Well, how long do you wait?
No, he does...
Yeah, like right as you think that, he comes back holding a crowbar. Hey, look! Free crowbar! Wow! And he walks back over towards the door.
How
lucky is that? Shit, we
these
can
guys-
open this place now.
I didn't see that in the forecast.
Do they? Do they?
What? Sorry.
Do they open the place?
No, they don't. He just puts the crowbar on like a belt loop and they keep standing there.
So they're like city guards or something, I'm assuming, and not people who work for the Golden Goose?
They don't look like city guards, but you're not sure. Maybe their conversation makes it seem like they are, but their outfits don't look like city guards.
I'll go up onto the roof, I guess, and see if I can find a vent leading into the Golden Goose.
All right. You don't find a vent, you find a chimney.
Go down the chimney.
All right. You want to climb into the chimney?
Yeah, I'll put my, do I still have it?
Have what?
I do not. My rebreather. I was just trying to see if I still had it.
Yeah. You have one, you bought a new one, but you could say you brought it with you? There's a bunch on the ship.
No, I don't have it. I left it. I go down the chimney.
All right.
Ho, ho, ho. Merry Christmas.
You can see as you're climbing down that this is going to lead you back into like the main
Kitchen.
Yeah, the main kitchen.
Do I hear anyone in there?
Yeah, you can hear. There are definitely at least 4 or 5 employees in there cooking.
Oh, never mind. I'll back out.
Okay.
Um,
Back out, rub the ash from the walls off you.
trying to think how I could steal this diamond ice for us to go sell for money. I'm kidding. It just sounds
Where
like a
the new
regular
cartel.
smuggling operation that is pretty constant. Seeing as I can't really find a way to get in efficiently, I'm gonna move on, and I guess,
Do you plan on sleeping somewhere tonight? Sleep on a roof?
yeah, probably. I know it's not gonna rain. I'm gonna sleep on a roof. I'll sleep on the Golden Goose.
Only
roof.
crowbars.
Yeah, it's gonna rain crowbars and hammers.
Alright, so you want to perch up on the Golden Goose and fall asleep?
Yep.
Alright, so that is another party member in Sleepy Town. Who else is there? Oh yeah, the 2 boys.
We're still drinking. Let's go.
Yeah, you guys. At what point, Devon and Brock? At what point are you guys peeling off to head to your room and get away before you have to be around for the drink payment?
Probably. I would guess. We wouldn't want to stick around for another round because it might be like, you know, we're not giving you more alcohol until you pay us, and then it's like, oh, okay, well, bye. So I guess maybe as we're finishing our last drinks, we're kind of setting the stage for us dipping out and going upstairs.
You're like faux yawning, like, oh, so tired. Time to go to bed.
Oh man, I'm traveling so much. Oh man.
Give me a persuasion roll. And since Brock's not here immediately, I'll just say he helps you and you can have advantage.
Okay. 17 and 21.
Alright, so you're traveling so much. Alright, lads. It's time to pony up the dough. I'll head back to the room and grab what we've got.
I think me and Brock here are gonna turn in as well. It's a long day, so.
Aye. Well, it was a pleasure telling stories alongside you folk, and don't be shy. We'll be around for a couple more days before we head off on our next journey.
We'll look out for you. Thank you, Tarks. And it was nice to meet you both as well, Perry and Ish.
Yes, and if you see that guy outside, run. He may want revenge on the push.
Yeah. I'm glad it was not me doing that. Ha 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 ha. All right, goodbye.
Arr. All right, Brock gets up as well. Follows you.
Sorry.
No, it's all right.
No, I was just ending. We're dipping out because they ran out of booze and we don't want to pay.
Perfect.
All right, so you guys begin to ascend the creaky wooden staircase, your footsteps echoing in the tavern area of the inn. As you both walk up to your room, hurriedly behind you, a hooded figure bumps past Brock, pushing him forward ever so slightly. The figure rushes past both of you while holding a small lit candle flame. Why don't you guys give me perception checks? What?
That's how I react.
Bastard!
Hey, asshole!
I wank.
You said perception?
Yeah, perception check.
Wanker!
Oh, hey, dude, can you do one for me? I'm not actually by Mike Peter.
Oh, you're good, yeah. I got 19 plus 8, 27, and then I got a 16. Or I got an 8. I was doing it with my modifier.
An 8 plus 1, so 9. Alright, so Brock doesn't really pay attention to it that much, but Devon, your eyes are drawn to the door of the neighboring chamber for a moment. The figure struggles to open the door with his key, and eventually he gets it unlocked, and right as he's about to close the door, it's like he can't help himself. He looks over towards you both, and underneath the hood, you catch the sight of a weathered face, ashy skin that would only be found on a human, dwarf, elf. Probably not an elf, though, as they're known for good skincare routines, and the figure's far too tall to be a dwarf. But that is not all. You see red tattoos that wind their way across the darkened skin like ancient runes. The tattoos resembling swirling waves, they create a pattern that comes alive in the flickering candlelight, and they weave across his forehead, tracing the contours of his cheeks and disappearing beneath the folds of his cloak. And then, poof, the door slams. Give me a history check. Just Devon, as Brock did not see this, but we'll see if you know anything.
History check. 5.
5. Alright. Yeah, the tattoos, you think maybe you've seen them before, but you can't remember from where. Alright, but you two enter in your room, greeted by the walls that are painted the deep blue, like the sea. Some more nautical paintings. Then there's 2 sturdy oak beds with sea-themed quilts that stand against one of the walls. Stand? Yeah, I guess. With a small table with an oil lamp that offers a view. The oil lamp doesn't offer the view. Sorry,
I love this view of a lamp.
An oil lamp and a window that offers a view of the streets outside. A dresser, a basin and pitcher, a slightly ajar door to the adjacent restroom that complete the scene. What would you guys like to do?
I'll do a pre-workout sleep.
They're gonna say I'll do a backflip into bed.
That too afterwards.
All right. Every time, every more description we get of Brock, I'm just picturing a furry version of Dwayne the Rock Johnson.
Probably.
The eyebrow game strong.
Yeah.
Got those pecs. Move.
But yeah, you guys.
Was that hooded dude in the room right next to us, or was he down the hall?
Yeah, right next to you, so the walls are connected.
I'm gonna knock on the wall corresponding to his room.
Okay. Alright. You're walking over to knock on the wall. Give me another perception check. It's my favorite roll in the game.
Perception roll. 13.
Alright, so you're about to knock on the wall, and then you can hear something. Like, the walls are pretty thin, and it makes things probably louder than they should be. You hear the sound of something moving, like an object moving, not a person. And you hear scraping for a moment, and then voices, discussions, faint, intriguing sounds that emanate from the neighboring room. They carry a sense of urgency.
I put my ear up to it, listening intently.
You hear a muffled voice say,
We must proceed cautiously. The secret is our sanctuary, but we can't afford any slip-ups.
and you hear another voice, a female voice, say,
Have you prepared the artifacts for transportation? We need to move them swiftly and securely. Remember, the boss doesn't want us to take any further action without his guidance. This is crucial to the cause. Yes, the illusions we weave must be flawless, but the boss doesn't get a say this time. You tell him that.
I would like to cast detect magic to see, because I can detect magic within 30 feet, so if they have a magical item in that room, I would be able to detect it.
Huh. Interesting. And that's just like you cast it and that's going, right?
Yep.
Alright, so as your ears pressed against the wall, you cast the spell out. There's a few smaller magic items that you think are like, you can see them sort of moving in the room. You think they're attached to people, probably an arcane focus here or there, maybe a wand. And then in the back of the room, along the same wall that your beds are along, near the window, there is a large magical item. You don't know what it is, but it is massive. Probably the same height as the wall, but maybe like the shape of sort of a larger door. It just beams this magical energy. You can sense it through your spell.
Are there any other magical items in the 30-foot radius of the second floor, or maybe below it?
No, you do not sense, other than anything you would have on you or Brock has on him. Like Brock's weapon is a magical item.
Well, I'll go over and in a soft voice, as not to be heard through the paper-ass walls, I'll relay this information to Brock.
Do you need me to repeat it, Jacob?
Oh no, I was mostly listening.
Okay.
What do you think? Should we investigate this further, or maybe tail them as soon as they leave? Perhaps we could, it seems they're moving quite a heavy device. Perhaps we could sleep in cycles and wait for them to leave the room and see what they're up to. What say ye, Brock? Brock.
Some nice tools. Some money?
Money? Yes, we've got to have money.
You gotta get the money.
They could be up to no good. Seems it's artifact and sanctuary. It's all foreign to me, to be quite honest, but the more we find out, the more it will make sense.
How long does Detect Magic last for?
Detect Magic lasts for up to 10 minutes.
So I assume you'll take the first watch then.
Yep.
All right, Brock, do you try to fall asleep?
Sure.
All right, so you do your backflip into bed, crushing it in two, but still lying on top of it.
You know how it is.
All right, and eventually you're able to fall asleep. All right, Devon. About 7.5 minutes basically into your watch, as you're sort of sat on your bed looking at the wall, you can still see these glowing things through the wall using your spell. The smaller magical objects walk up or move towards the larger one, and then a moment later the smaller ones are gone.
It's like so they went up to the larger one and now they just disappear?
Yep.
Okay. Do I hear any of their voices still in the room?
Put your ear up to the wall and it's quiet.
I blow up the wall and investigate now.
You could use that tool you have that can become any tool to make a drill.
I could.
Make it into a jackhammer.
Now I just sound like
chainsaw.
a drill rapper. I've been waiting for use for this item. Could I perhaps turn it into a magnifying glass that lets me see into the room through the wall? Would that be possible?
No, you can't turn it into a magic item. It has to be an actual tool.
Okay.
Can I turn it into a window in the wall?
Can I turn it into a nuclear bomb to blow up the wall in front of me and everyone I love?
I mean, nukes aren't magical.
True. But they're not,
I have a question about my spiritual weapon.
Mhm.
Do I have the ability to see what the spiritual weapon sees?
I don't think so. I think you have to, in order to use it, you have to be able to see where it is.
Okay.
Well, not to use it, but it, like, if you want to attack something, you got to know where the thing is that you're attacking, you know?
Understandable. I'm going to cast another spell. I'm going to cast the spell. Ooh. No, because if I do this, then nobody can. I was going to cast Silence, but that's in a 20-foot radius, and then nobody would be able to hear anything, so I don't really think that that would be quite as useful, but you know what? I'll use my all-purpose tool and just see if I can kind of silently. I don't know how silently you can do this. Of like drilling a peephole into the wall to see inside.
Okay. So you picture a drill in your hand, and sort of a small mechanical drill appears where the three-headed silver wrench once was. And
Do I have a picture of anything else in the room, by the way? Of like, I know where the big item is, and can I assume that it has a similar layout to our room, or would it have it opposite?
You're not sure. You can assume that it has a similar layout, but you haven't seen it to know.
Right. Yeah, I'll drill a hole in the wall. Kind of lower to the floor.
All right. So you get down, sort of next to your bed. You start drilling a hole. Little chips of wood going everywhere. And the wall is thin enough to where you can poke a small hole into it. Now, being able to see through the hole, a little bit more difficult, but if you squint just enough, you can get a slight image of the other side. And what are you trying to see? I assume you're trying to see the magical item?
Yes. So I guess be drilling more close to that item, just to be able to see it.
Okay. The hole's just small enough to where you can just see what you think is a shelf with books on it.
Books. And this has the same correspondence as the item that I was looking at before?
Yeah, so now that you can kind of see it, you're not sure if the actual shelf itself is the magical item or the books on the shelf. But it is the full thing that is being illuminated.
Do we have a similar shelf in our room?
You look over? No. Where the bookshelf is in that room, there is a window in your room between your two beds. And you don't see any beds in the room across from you. Or in the room next to you.
Okay, well then, like you said, I'll assume the books are this magical item. And I will kind of take my eye away from the hole. Or is there anything else that I could see before I do so that kind of would raise some eyebrows?
Not really. You could try drilling other holes, but you don't see anything immediately.
I'm kind of surprised they didn't hear the drill the first time, to be honest, so I'm not going to push my luck.
Okay.
And yeah, I'll just keep pressing my ear up against the wall to see if I can hear any movement or continuing correspondence.
All right. All right, well, 2 minutes after that or whatever, the spell wears off and you no longer see the glow. And you sit there. How long do you want to wait before you wake Brock and swap positions?
I'll give it. What time did we go to bed?
Like 9-ish, 9:30-ish.
Okay, then I'll wait till midnight before I make the switch.
All right. You wait for like 2 hours, and eventually you hear a loud happen in the room next door.
I'll go back to the people and look back in.
All right, you look at the people. The bookshelf is gone.
What the fuck? I'm going to, and nothing else besides the bookshelf being gone has changed in the room?
Well, now you can see that there is a window there, but it was being covered by the bookshelf.
I'm gonna cast Detect Magic one more time.
Okay. You cast Detect Magic. The only thing you detect is the magical items you have on you, and Brock has.
Oh, shit. Well, that's... Yeah, it's the fucking Lion Witch in the Wardrobe ass portal. The hell? Devon is quite befuddled and doesn't really know what to make of it, so he's just gonna kind of sit down on his bed and contemplate shit for a little bit. Ow. Meow.
Alright. And then at midnight, you make the switch and then you get some sleep?
Yes, but I'll also tell Brock that, like, what we were looking for is now seemingly gone, so, yeah. And also mention the hole that I drilled, because drill. Also, I'm going to change the all-purpose tool into a hammer, so that it doesn't look like I'm walking around like, why does he have a drill? I think the hammer's a little more explanable. Explanable.
Explanable. Nice. Alright, well, eventually you're both able to get some rest. And we can teleport to the morning.
We can't stop.
Whoa. We won't stop.
Whoa.
Alright. Well, in the morning, we will first start with our friends at the Moonlight Serenade. Cock, as you slowly emerge from your slumber, the remnants of dreams still clinging to your mind as a message arrives with a soft chime on your communicator.
Bing! Hello.
Bing! There we go. Discord finally picked it up. Alright. Rubbing your sleep crusties from your eyes, you retrieve the device from your shell, I guess. Where do you keep your communication device? Where do you keep items anywhere? They're just like crammed in your shell?
Usually just like, I cram them in like a crack in my shell, yeah.
Alright, so you pull your communication device out, and you see you have a message from Dridgy, or Dr. Vault, you're not sure which.
Ooh.
Your esteemed colleagues.
I'll open it.
Alright, you open it, you can see the sort of text version of the message dances along the display, and then you press it and Dridgy's voice plays out. Hey Cock, we've got some awesome news to share, but before we get into it, sorry for not coming back last night. No idea where you guys went, and also Dr. Vault stumbled upon something mind-blowing during her research, and she's totally hooked. Picture this, okay? Deep within the research center, the scientists here have come across an ancient celestial root. Right? Could change everything we know about healing properties. It's like a treasure trove of organic awesomeness. Can't spell all the deets right now. Super secret stuff, you know. But trust me, it's a big deal. Laren is diving headfirst into this rabbit hole, with some help of the other researchers trying to figure things out. Says it might even be able to cure my you-know-what. I don't believe her, but if there's a chance, I gotta try, right? Crew of the Bonds Phoenix continue to rock every world we go to. Can't wait to reunite and spill all the juicy details. Hang in there, boss. Lots of love, Dridgy and Dr. Vault.
Ooh.
With each passing word, your anticipation grows. Fueled by this promise, something extraordinary within reach. But the message ends. And as that happens, Lady Wara cracks her back. And you can see that she was definitely listening to that message. Well, Cock, while we're waiting for your esteemed researchers to return, why don't we make the most of our time here? The Moonlight Serenade must have some sort of breakfast available, I assume. And we need to look for the rest of your friends, no?
That would be ideal.
Where do you
I immediately leave the room and go downstairs.
You ignore her. Alright, you descend the creaking stairs of the inn. Your eyes scan the common area. What are you looking for?
There's a bar wench or a waiter around.
Alright, you search for a wench or somebody that you spoke to last night, but you don't see anyone. Well, you do see somebody. Your gaze locks onto a dwarf sitting at the booth near the end of sort of the front of the establishment, I guess, with a troubled expression. It's the same dwarf you noticed for a fleeting moment the night before, and his stressed appearance piques your curiosity a bit. Oh, I'm so stressed, he says to himself. Oh, my expression must be so troubled. He slams his hand on the table.
Oh, how stressful.
Oh, what a day.
What a stressful day.
What a stressful morning I have found myself in.
I'm gonna sneak up behind him and then say good morning.
Yeah. Lady War and Nar are also beginning to come down the stairs. You see Lady War like, Cocky, this is so rude to ignore people. As you look at the dwarf, his eyes meets yours, and he takes a deep breath before saying, well, hello, Mr. Turtle, and an elven beauty. Not many Elferians running around here like us, lass, eh? Lady War is like, well, I agree, it's good to see someone like yourself. I, in particular, have not been to Elfir in many years. I don't blame you neither. Too much yapping from humans, if you ask me. Anywho, what can I do for you, Mr. Turtle?
Seem to be a bit, what's the word? Stressed.
I have been racked
What
with
do you mean,
bad
I?
dreams for the
I don't have eyes?
I can't seem to sleep more than a few hours before I'm startled awake by some dark magic nonsense. Blasted things, really.
Can you go in more detail about these magic things?
Well, weird enough, it started happening around the same time the clouds started changing their tone. You know, I've lived here for years. Maybe you don't know that. I've just met you, but I've never experienced anything like this before. The harmonious balance of the planet is being messed with, if you ask me. Sanctuary being disturbed. I fear the consequences if somebody don't uncover the truth. He chokes down a biscuit he's eating for breakfast. Hey, where'd you get that food? I knew there was somebody here! You steal one of his biscuits. You scarf it down. By the way, I just want to say, I know I always say this, but I'm sorry that we are doing this one at a time. You guys split up again. Alright.
Yeah. Well, maybe in exchange for one of those biscuits, I can give you this sleeping liquid.
His eyes widen with gratitude. He slides the plate. There's like 3 more biscuits on there. And
I slam my face onto it immediately.
the stressed expression momentarily is replaced with a glimmer of hope. Thank you, kind soul. You must be a hero of some sort.
Fuck.
Crumbs flying every direction.
I sound like a vacuum cleaner.
Oh my god. This is quite the view. Lady War is shaking her head.
Thank you.
Alright, you pull your face back. Your face is like flat for a moment and then it pops back out.
Mmm. Yummy.
Hungry boy. Well.
Sorry, lady, did you want one?
No, that is alright.
Ah, very good.
Well,
At least I asked.
madam.
Madam.
So about those potions,
what about them? Probably don't want to drink it right here, but
the stress comes back.
ah.
He's like, did I just get fucking wrong?
Bipolar is how.
Yeah, I give him one of my potions.
It's like melatonin. He takes it. Thank you. I'll see if this works. Well, he gets up off his chair. I've got someone I gotta go talk to. Bye. He leaves the place.
I love you.
Okay, bye.
All right. Should we go look for a wench?
Excuse me?
Uh, uh, a woman?
Yes, that's what we prefer to be called. Ridiculous.
You women and your words.
Oh my god. Like, Nar begins walking forward and Lady War just puts her hand out like, he's not worth it.
Don't challenge him.
He's too powerful. You can't.
Alright, well.
I walk out onto the street and search for consumables.
Alright, Lady War and Nar follow you out onto the street. And
In the
now
presence of your holiest.
it's a rowdy crowd that you find as people begin to head back out towards the market, ready to sell their wares another day. You're just looking for a place to eat, basically? Okay, give me a perception check.
I perceive that is a food stand.
9.
9.
I don't know what food is. What is a restaurant?
Alright, you take a look out, you're squinting your eyes, the sun is bright. Put your hand up to block it so you're not immediately blinded. You could also just
Not
sort
so
of
bleeding.
walk over towards underneath one of the sort of arches in the market area so that it's not immediately in your eyes. Alright, well, you see a couple places. It's hard to tell what is selling food and what is selling, like, you know, drink. But you see a place that seems to be cooking strange lizard-like creatures on an open fire. Yeah, you've never seen delicacies such as these. There's also what appears to be some sort of magician who makes food out of magic. Something you've never tried before. And then there's just, like, you know, the classic, like, various races have their own, like, tribalistic delicacies.
You in the mood for anything specific?
Well, let me see. I wonder if they have any Anno Fleet style dishes here. You know, Trellick eggs, fartlar leathers, anything like that. hand salt. You both say at the same time.
Oh my god, twinsies.
It's a common delicacy.
I want to look for the hand salt salesman.
Hand salt vendor. Alright, so you both start rushing into the marketplace, excitedly looking for hand salt. Nar, he doesn't want to jog the way you guys are, but he has to keep up. But he tries to do it in a cool way. Alright, so you guys start looking for a place to eat. Meanwhile, we move over to our feline hero, Invictus. You awaken, your senses sharp and ready for the challenges that lie ahead. As consciousness slowly steeps back into your being, you find yourself lying on top of a wooden roof. Stretching your limbs, you feel the remnants of weariness dissipating as determination fuels your every thought. Your keen eyes dart around, taking in the subtle details of the market down below. As you rise from your slumber, the weight of your purpose settles in upon your shoulders, a constant reminder of your mission that drives you. Your mind races with thoughts of justice for your planet, pursuit of your lost familia, and the mysteries that lie in wait beyond the threshold of this, you know. I was gonna say humble abode, but not really. It's just a roof. Is William still here? He's away on Discord.
Oh,
there we
shit,
go.
He dead.
He fucking died.
Oh shit, he did.
So, what would you like to do?
Um,
Jump off, break my legs?
Start looking for a way down to the surface, I guess.
Alright, I assume, leap along a few buildings and then climb down?
Yeah.
Alright. It's a new day, new opportunity at foot. Many things to look into.
Love feet.
I know you do.
Yeah, I guess I start making my way back to the market district, see if I see anyone. If not, start heading towards the air docks to get down the surface. Do they go there?
Sorry, what did you say? Head towards where?
Walk through the market, see if I see any of my companions. Otherwise, start making my way to the surface.
What, like the lowlands?
Yeah,
All right, how do you want to get there? You want to get on an airship?
that would be ideal.
You want to jump? All right.
Oh,
Yeah, okay. So you start heading over towards the market to look for your friends. And as that's happening, morning light filters into the room that Devon and Brock awaken in, the sounds of commotion resonating from the bar of the Rusty Anchor down below. But you both awake, eyes shifting back and forth, seeing each other, ready for a new day. I assume you gather your supplies and put your clothes on.
Of course.
Sometimes I forget about that because Cock and Erebus don't have to worry about those things because Erebus sleeps in his clothes and Cock doesn't wear any.
Who could have guessed a person named Cock doesn't wear clothes?
Yeah.
Man's living on the edge. Yeah, I get my drip on.
get that drip, drippity drip.
What would you guys like to do?
Do my spell slots get reset because we slept?
Yeah, you can take a long rest.
Well, then one time before we leave, I'm gonna use Detect Magic again to see if there's anything that's changed.
Okay. You cast Detect Magic. What does it look like when you cast it?
It's kind of like, to me, like, I pull a bunch of, like, boogers out of my nose, and I just kind of go, like, and it, like, to my eyes, it, like, creates this, like, expanding sphere of influence, but nobody else actually sees it. I just look like
Okay.
I'm picking my nose.
Nice. Alright, so you picked your nose one more time, and you confirm to yourself that there are no more magic items in the room next door.
Just look at
I
Devon and just go, how unsanitary.
You're the fella who's giving out consensual hugs. So, you have no room to judge my ways of my people. But I think our work is done here. Appears that magical books, as they were, are no more. I really don't know what the fuck happened with that, but those tattoos on the guy we saw last night did seem familiar. So perhaps we will see them again on our travels.
Someday.
Someday. Well, I'll tell you one thing. I am hungry, and specifically for something sweet. Yesterday when we got here, there was a great spot that I saw in the market. So you want to go down there and get some pastries?
Sounds good to me.
All right.
I'm just gonna grab some sour gummy Skittles.
It's a
I need
alien delicacy.
watermelon Sour Patch Kids.
Alright, you guys, with a determined stride, head down the stairs of the inn, and a collective murmur ripples through the room as the inn's owner, Ebia, the centaur you spoke to last night, sort of, yells a little bit at a gather of patrons down below, and you hear somebody say, some Loxodon say, "Well, tough shit." And the centaur's like, "You don't understand. The pendant belonged to my mother. Now it's gone, just out of nowhere, stolen right from out of my nose. I'm suspecting that one of you took it. I'm not trying to say it was you specifically, but please, just... can we at least cooperate here?" And it's at this point that you both fully make it down the stairs into this mess.
Can I do a perception check to see who's pissed off and who's on the defense?
Sure, you can do an insight.
And so, okay. I got a unnatural 20.
Dang. Alright, well, the scene you see before you is the centaur woman, Ebia, is stood in front of the door, like the exit, and there's like a group of patrons that all look like they're trying to get out, and she's talking to them about, you assume, this pendant that her mother gave her, and the patrons are trying to get past.
Oh, I'm hoping you're not going to be able to be stopping us from going and getting our delectable pastries.
No, I can't stop any of you from leaving, but look, please, it's an old green gem pendant. It was passed down through generations. My mom used to say that it holds some sort of hidden power. Maybe that's why you would want it. I don't know. I've never witnessed it myself, but please, just help me find it before it's gone forever. I'll reward anyone who helps bring it back to me. And at this point, once she said she can't stop anybody, pretty much all the customers just head out the door. She's like, please! Door closes.
A reward, you say? What would this reward?
I have credits I can give you. I just need to find it before it's too late.
Do you know the last time you saw it?
The last time I saw it would have been right before we closed up last night. So, actually, it would have been maybe a couple minutes before you all walked in with your drunken tabaxi folk.
It
was around that time, anyway.
Did our crew of Parks, Perry, and Deesh pay off their tab for you? I heard that was outstanding even after we got the drinks that we partook in.
Yes, they were able to pay, not the full price, but they informed me they will get the rest of the money before they leave the town. I doubt that will happen, but I hope regardless.
And did they arise any particular suspicions, or did anyone of that matter arise suspicions as you were in the closing process?
There were a few strange folk. There was a hooded figure that has come in and out. I believe it was some sort of Aarakocra or maybe a Kinku. But he always seemed relatively friendly, always in a rush to get upstairs. Who else have I seen? There haven't been any new patrons recently. The city's on edge. People haven't been...
Oh,
sorry, go ahead.
That hooded man you said. How often do they typically show up or have been showing up?
Oh, well, the better part of probably a week now, I believe, in and out. They said they were going to be leaving soon. I believe he's upstairs now.
And have any other items been reported missing in this week here?
Oh, you mean in this bar?
Yes, not but just by you, but of patrons.
I don't believe... Nobody's come to me about anything. However, there obviously have been the kidnappings in the city, and I'm sure that... I mean, there's things getting stolen all the time nowadays in Olympia. The world's gone to a mess recently.
Yes. As a dog off in the distance loses sanity.
I've never seen a dog folk before.
This would make sense on this planet. They would not be as popular. No, I do have to let you know, that hooded figure that you mentioned, they bumped into us last night, and I must say that I did see some suspicious items as they entered into the room, so I'm not sure your planet or city's jurisdictions on searches, but that would be where I would look, to be honest.
Ah, the hooded figure. Well, perhaps... I don't want to stop you, but it would make me feel a bit more safe. Could you come with me to look?
What you say, Brock? Should we accompany?
Sounds like it could be arranged.
We will, at minimum, be able to provide you safety.
Before I do any sort of prejudice, perhaps, did you see any more detail about the man? I don't want to, make assumptions, as she says this, as she walks towards the stairs with you.
Well, as you mentioned before, they always seemed in a bit of a rush, and you did have nice interactions with them, which could point to an ulterior motive. Many people who are nice towards those who are in a position of some influence over them have something to hide quite a lot of the time. And I didn't get a quite clear picture of what they looked like, but I did notice very, very distinctive tattoos. Tattoos accompanied by that of likely a human.
They were red. It looked familiar, but I'm just not sure from where that I remember seeing that.
As you finish saying this, she's made it to the door upstairs. Door number 6. She sort of looks over towards you. A human? I have not served a human in quite a long time. Are you sure?
It had the build of a human. I wanted to say perhaps it could be an elf, but given how, for use of better terms, crusty they look, say it was likely not an elf, nor a dwarf, as the stature is a bit off for it to be in that.
She takes the key, clicks it, unlocks the door, swings it open. You can all see inside. You see a very similar setup to the one you had, other than the fact that there are no beds in here, and the back wall is just completely clean. Where have my beds gone? She walks, or I guess she trots inside, being a centaur. Oh, he's not even in here.
And you didn't see them leave this morning or during the night?
No. I mean, I suppose they could have left during the night, but why would they? I haven't gotten my key back either. She looks over towards the table on the side of the room, and it's just, the key's just sat there. Ah, how strange. Trots over, takes the key.
Well, if they were mad enough to steal an innkeeper's bed, I wouldn't put it past them to also steal your prized possession.
True. But they've gone somewhere. I need to get the guards on this immediately.
Yes, I would recommend the stakeout. Should I, centaurs, do they have any magical abilities? I guess it's not really frowned upon, so I'll say this as well, is there's suspicions. I heard many a talk from them last night. Walls in these rooms are very thin, and they mentioned quite a few things about an artifact in a sanctuary. And being a magic user myself, I'm able to detect magical items within a certain jurisdiction of my own, and the only place outside of me and my comrade's body that we detected magical items was in this room here. Now, as you see now, there's nothing here, and it's almost as if they've completely vanished.
You mentioned they were speaking. Were they speaking to themselves?
No, there was two. There was the man's voice, and also what sounded like a more feminine voice.
Well, something is afoot. I only rented the room to one person, and I did not see another enter. Well, this is quite strange.
Yes.
So they stole my magic. Perhaps that's why they took the room in the first place.
It could be.
Now I need the guards more than ever. Well, thank you two gentlemen. I don't want to hold you up any longer. I'd appreciate you sticking around, unlike the rest of the bloody crowd.
Yes, well, granted, they might not have been able to provide as much information as us.
True, and I'm sure
I suppose, would you be able to refund our hotel fees, as we're a bit short on funds for right now, and given that we didn't find your prized possession, I don't think it's fair to ask for a massive reward, but at least enough to get us some food for the day.
Ah, of course. You know what? I'll double it. She hands you 10 gold.
Thank you
I
for your
appreciate
kindness.
the information. You didn't have to share that with me, and narking on someone is not always the best way to make friends, but I appreciate it nonetheless.
I mean, I fear making a powerful enemy, but for whatever reason, I see in your time of need no ulterior motive per se. And what was your name? I must ask.
Ebia.
Ebia. Ebia, well, we thank you for your lovely
lovely stay. I wish that we were able to provide more information than what we've provided here, but yes, I suppose we'll be on our way, and perhaps we will attend here another night.
Yes, well, I must make my way to the guards immediately. I must get this information in. It was lovely meeting you all. She begins trotting past you down the stairs.
What do you make of this whole situation, Brock?
Interesting. Very interesting, yes.
I mean, the magical items I can get, but why are they stealing beds? I mean, that would make them very suspicious.
And why is that wall so clean?
Well, it was the wall that had a bookshelf with the magical books on it, so perhaps there's some other aspect to this wall that is not seen by the common eye. But I should be still detecting it. I'm not sure. Well, I suppose we cannot do much more than we have, and now we have some money to go get those pastries. Yes. Let us mosey on. What say ye? Arr?
Yes, let's get some booty. Our treat.
Yes.
Arr!
Some money.
Alright, so you guys head back out into the street.
Yes,
I
sir.
assume you're heading back towards the market where you saw the donut shop.
Mm-hmm. See my boy Trashy.
Yeah. Alright, well, as they do that, Invictus, give me a perception check, my boy! My big boy. My big feline friend.
Yeah, boy.
They want the old Kanye. You're muted, by the way, William.
You want me to roll perception? 11.
11. Okay. So as you walk back into the market, the first thing you notice is you can see Lady Wara and your friend Cocculus running off in the direction of a hand salt stand, an anomaly delicacy. And you can see the bodyguard Nar sort of annoyingly running after them, trying to keep pace with the person he's set to protect. And at the same time, you see your orc friend Devon and Brock pile out of another inn, yelling about donuts and booty. Who would you like to go after?
Yes, I approach the salt stand.
All right. So, Cocculus and Lady Wara stood in front of a stand with a hooded Kenku who puts up 2-3 fingers, and Lady Wara's like, "Oh no, 2 for each, 2 for each." And the Kenku slowly ducks under the tent and begins procuring salt. And then you just stand behind your 2 friends. They're hopping up and down like a child.
I'm licking the table in anticipation.
I guess I sort of kind of like roll performance to make it look like I was always part of this group.
Sure.
12.
All right. Well, you walk up as if you were always there. Then Nar shows up as well. He looks at you, doesn't say anything, and then the Kenku reappears with 2 hand salt sticks and hands them out to the 2 giddy, childlike adults. "Thank you so much." And Lady War throws some coins down. She starts licking. Oh, it's brilliant! It's brilliant, isn't it?
Still don't understand how you eat just salt cock.
Suddenly sees you. Oh my goodness! Oh.
Can I interest you in a hand salt?
I'm good, cock. I'm good.
Oh.
So are you no longer hiding from us then, Tabaxi?
What are you talking about? I've never been hiding from you. Deception.
So could I
I
get
was
two more
here
hand
the
salts?
whole time.
17.
The Kenku nods and ducks back into the tent. Lady Wara looks towards Cock. Was he here the whole time? Anyway.
He was here pretty long.
Anyway, I learned some things that we should discuss
Oh.
in a less...
Less
Crowded.
in the middle of the market location.
Yeah. As I say that, I just like glare at Lady War, like, get the fact that we're like in public, and
She glares back at you.
I glare at some stranger.
Intimidation.
They drop their Voss as you glare at them.
No, I dropped my dice.
There's the Assassin's Creed NPC that drops their box when they run into you.
He starts pointing at himself like, are you looking at me?
Oh. Anyway, I suppose we should get the donut boys. And...
The Donut Boys? Is that a band here?
No, I point over at Brock and Devon.
You see Brock and Devon walking up over towards Trashy's pastry shop.
Ooh. I break into a full sprint in that direction.
Lady War's like, hold on, Cocculus, wait! And she runs after you. Nar then runs too, and then the Kenku comes back out of the tent with 2 hand salts, and he's just looking at you, Invictus.
Did she pay for those already?
No.
I'm sorry, my good man. I think she had to go to the bathroom. And I slowly just walk away.
Alright, you walk away. You run, or you just walk toward, speed walk so fast that you basically catch up with the party. And you all meet up outside of the pastry shop. So Devon and Brock, you see your friends.
Where were you guys last night?
I was in an inn, on the floor, sleeping.
It's good pastries.
Nice. Yes.
Have you? Okay, whatever.
I walk in. Are we inside the pastry shop yet?
Well, I was picturing you guys outside the pastry shop, but I'll say you're inside since apparently Brock has started.
Alright, I want some
eating one.
pastries.
Alright, Brock, take 5 gold off your. Actually, just 2 gold because Trashy likes Devon. Alright, you want to buy some pastries? How many pastries are you buying?
I'll get 4 pastries.
4. Alright, 8 gold. You start picking out the donuts you want as Devon talks to himself because nobody besides Cock answers.
I'll see that everyone ignored me except for Cock, and I'll just go up to Trashy and be like, "Hey, I told you I'd bring you some more business, man."
Absolutely, this is fantastic, Devon. Thank you. Oh wait, no, sorry. Didn't you say your name was like Yaren or something?
That was only to the owl person.
Oh,
I
okay,
like Trashy, so I don't really need to hide my identity.
Oh, Yerub. It was Yerub.
Yerub, yep. Mm-hmm. Yerub the orc. Very, very natural name. But I think I might have another pastry for myself. So good yesterday. I need to get a full one this time and not to be mooching.
Alright, well, pick out what you'd like, and it'll be 2 gold.
Alright. Can I do a perception check for the tastiest pastry?
Yes, you may.
I got a 24.
This is great. Fucking, what the fuck? Invictus, sorry, I'm gonna get this eventually. Invictus is like, he has like this secret mission, this like really important family on the line mission, and his party are
We're getting donuts.
buying donuts. He's just like stood there like, Alright. Alright, you see what is described as a golden honeycomb delight, which is a true masterpiece of confectionery artistry. And it resembles like that of like a honeycomb that you'd find, but it's made out of, dough, and it's got a nice honey glaze over the top of it.
Is it delightful?
I hope so.
Scrumptious.
Alright, you buy one. You all have your desired treats as you sit around in the pastry shop and
Devour them.
yeah, you begin eating your pastries.
Like shoving sticks of hand salt in my pastries.
But you guys are in a secluded enough spot where Trashy wouldn't hear you.
Oh shit, you got hand salt?
I slide
Just
in my
as
hand
good as a
salt.
backwards hug.
I'll give you 10 hugs for after this.
Oh.
Alright.
So, what's that, this super secret, slimy, special information?
I don't want to tell you anymore.
No, my stomach's killing me.
That's why I'm eating.
Sorry, I'll stop describing pastries.
Well, first off, just in case you missed my name when I introduced myself to you guys when we got on the airship, I'm Invictus.
Very good, Invictus.
Invictus.
Nice to meet you.
Besides that, apparently there's a factory on the surface that is getting shipments of nothing, and might have ties to the criminal underground here, as well as Traders' fleet. I thought we should go investigate on the surface.
Mhm.
Is there further supplies that we might need to go down there, or do you think we are properly prepared?
We got water, we got food.
It's probably a good time to remind you guys that Iva the Crone set you up with a contact on Vegarok named Zalix, who is currently in the Sky City of Gull, and she said that, you know, if you meet up with her, she can get you whatever you need for your mission.
We should visit Gull.
Yeah, then we won't have to worry about bringing our own shit or going back to the Bronze Phoenix. Has anyone heard anything from them, by the way?
The people on the Bronze Phoenix, no. Bridgie and my other lady have been doing the big science. So they are doing science things in the science area, sciencey. Yeah.
Perhaps we left someone with a communication device on the Bronze Phoenix, correct? Perhaps it would be a good idea to contact them, just to clear the area too, or clear the air area.
Who did we leave with the communication?
We left like half the people there, didn't we? Oh, or who we left with it, yeah.
I am sure.
Or are we able to communicate with the ship?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Timbley and Iron Fury have communicators.
I'll send a message to the ship.
Okay.
I send a Snapchat selfie of all of us.
Hey, are you?
A thumbs up as you eat your donuts.
And with the caption, "Can I get you any hand salt?"
Nice.
Well, we also have some information to relay, as we stayed at a somewhat rundown inn last night called the Rusty Anchor, and I don't know why, but as we were heading up to our rooms, we were bumped into by this somewhat humanoid-looking figure. It's kind of hard to get a picture of them because their hood was up, but they had these very eerily familiar-looking red tattoos, and it was a bit hard not to snoop, and they had many magical items within their room that during the night vanished, and very likely as well, it was also the innkeeper's, I believe it was an amulet that had likely been stolen by those people. I guess just, does anyone remember what red tattoos? It just felt so eerily distinct for whatever reason, like something we'd seen before.
The Sisterhood of Blood have red tattoos.
You guys can make history checks as he describes what he saw. All of you can.
Or
4.
Perfect.
13.
Natural 20.
Oh shit.
was Brack even there?
But
Yeah,
no,
we should
I'm natural 20. I remember everything.
21.
I've seen it. How about this? I've seen them in my days in the arena.
Okay, this is actually quite funny because Brack saw the person last night but didn't see them well enough. Now that Devon is describing them to you, you're like, wait, I've seen these things before. So, the sort of ancient rune tattoos indicate... well, let me be more specific. Brock and Cock would know. You've seen these sort of tattoos before. Probably for Cock, it was some sort of ambassador that came to the fleet at some point. And for Brock, maybe you fought someone like this before. It depends. But they indicate that this person was most likely a Kenry. Now, I assume you guys don't remember me talking about the Kenry. This was like one of the first 5 sessions. They built the giant gate to the city of Nox Hollow, but they're basically like a group of ancient wizards that come from Elfir. And they're sort of reminiscent of like the Jedi Order mixed with Hogwarts. They have like a code of conduct, and they teach people how to, use their magical abilities. And they possess, deep connection to, the magical energy that comes from the main sun, the Hydros. So, seeing someone like that, you would suspect that the Kenry are seldom to venture from the borders of Elfir. So, seeing someone like that on Beggarrock, probably they're on some sort of pilgrimage or maybe some sort of important mission that they couldn't do on Elfir. That's basically what you know.
But maybe the bookshelf was like a portal back to Alfir or something like that.
We need to take his bookshelf so we can get to Elfie.
It's mine! Well, I hope I didn't just sell out the wrong people. Fuck.
It sounds like the Jedi people.
Think.
Thank you,
What are the Jedi doing here?
I think we should head to the other island that you mentioned that the person was on.
Okay. You want to head to Gull? I assume find
That's
Trigi and
good.
Dr. Vault first. All right.
Yeah, we can go to the research area and then...
All right. Sounds good. Sorry that you don't feel well, William. Hopefully you feel better. But
Yeah, was
guys?
Was it something you ate, do you think, or?
I don't know. Probably.
There's a storm brewing in his unders. In his gutty works. All right.
I'm gonna go sit on a toilet.
Sounds good.
Fair enough.